Hey guys, that's right. It was the mall right behind me on Christmas Eve when a young woman, a minor, was shopping inside a Forever 21 when she noticed a tiny camera inside of her dressing room. She alerted employees at the store, who then alerted police. Just beyond those trees and the noisy lawnmower, as we speak, the city is working to actually drain the pond, and they're using what's called aeration methods. Now, that's actually to sort of disperse the bad smell that's been wafting over this neighborhood for the past 2 weeks. He was born and raised in Fairfax. He came from a poorer part of the county and said that a lot of people didn't believe in him when he first said that he wanted to go into local politics, but then when he decided to run for chair, he got support of local unions and also from the local fire department. As you can see behind me, this has been set up outside of the watch party that happened tonight. We're in Herndon, in the middle of a really busy place. There's a highway right next to us, but you get to enjoy sort of farm living, and one of those things is this water pump that we're standing behind right now. What would this have been used for? Ticks target hosts from as small as a mouse to as big as a deer. So when development splits a forest in half, those hosts carry the ticks with them into open spaces, into your backyard. Each day, the Dulles Toll Road sees 300,000 transactions, and those transactions are about to change thanks to a $23 million project. 6 inches of water will reach the bottom of most passenger cars, causing drivers to lose control, while a foot of water is enough to float the vehicle itself. Clement is also campaigning for more school board transparency, citing 2 memos where the school board says a committee will be formed to rename Washington Lee High School. County police say they have identified the man responsible for several SunTrust bank robberies. The suspect won't be headed for jail, though. Police say they discovered his body in a hotel room in Hagerstown. Hundreds of cyclists and spectators lined the streets of downtown Hagerstown today for the USA Cycling Championships. WDVM's Randy Bass went off to the races and talked to a few of the winners. 1 year ago Saturday, 16-year-old Jolie Musa told her sister she'd be right back.
What can I tell you about Jolie? Jolie was amazing. She loved God, most importantly.
She walked this path in an Alexandria park less than a mile from her house before she was murdered by her ex-boyfriend.
We could have found her had we looked harder, but it took us 2 weeks. We stood less than 200 feet from where she was buried.
We were right there.
And had no idea she had been there the entire time.
Since her death, Jolie's aunts have created Not a Runaway, an organization dedicated to recovering missing children, endangered but declared runaways.
We know that we need to move on, and what's more important right now is to save the next Jolie.
Her family, friends, and Fairfax police and detectives gathered where her body was found nearly 1 year ago and released a single dove.
This particular dove, we're just going to call her Jolie.
Trained doves like this one are expected to fly away. This one stuck around for the ceremony.
We're looking like, go home, bird, as she's not leaving.
It was like, I'm here, you know, and then flew up in the trees and just reminded us, I'm still here. I'm watching over what you're doing. Thank you.
And when I stood back up to say, thank you, everyone, that concludes our program, the bird circled and then looked back and then flew away.
That was God.
That was God. That was Jolie.
Reporting in Alexandria, Rebecca Burnett, WDVM 25.
It took crews from multiple jurisdictions to put out this heavy fire in Great Falls last week. The flames displaced 2 residents and injured 1 firefighter, but it only took 1 jurisdiction to put the pieces back together.
This is the brains of this operation.
Lieutenant Kahn is one of only 4 trained people in Fairfax County to use this 3D imager.
You have to take a 40-hour course. Then you take a test, and you can become FARO certified. What you see right here is a lens, a mirror, right? A laser comes out of a scanner, and it shoots at this object. This is measuring millions of data points in this lobby.
The county was the first in the country to get its hands on it in 2017. In 2018, the fire department determined this fatal fire in Springfield was accidental and caused by the power supply to the furnace. The damages have since been cleaned up, but the crime scene is frozen in time.
This is actually a stairs that burned through.
So firefighters wouldn't have been able to walk
up the stairs? Yeah, firefighters did not go through because the fire was actually, it burnt the stairs.
The imager is positioned at various points around the scene. It can even capture rafters on the roof without leaving the ground.
It's all based on how much fire damage it is and how detailed I want to get it to. Just like a photograph, right? How many megapixels I want to get it to get all the details about the product.